And good evening, everybody. The RSFL, in association with the RSHL, presents Game 2 of the RSFL playoffs between Do It Live and the Miami Sharks. Game 1 was a defensive struggle, which Do It Live eventually won by a score of 7-0. Uh, Miami actually had more time of possession on that, but they turned the ball over too much. Do It Live took advantage. And for the first half, Miami will kick off to Do It Live. Do It Live defending the right side of the field. As we take a look at some of the starters on the field. And it looks like Verdes will be kicking it off. They do have Corian as a defensive lineman on the kickoff. That's an interesting choice. And Verdes. Oh, wait. Boogie was called for an offsides penalty. We are already off to a great start. Get ready again, and Verdes looks north, kicks it just north of the hash, and that is picked up by Lawndorf, going toward the north side of the field, gathering blockers, being very patient as he works his way to the sideline. He's to the 40, to the 50, and finally tackled, but he gets into Miami territory as he does so to the 45-yard line. And we take a look now at the starting lineup for Do It Live. We have Vega at center, Pooter and Zanaz as the tackles, Revolution and Lawndorf as the wide receivers, Abvolt at running back, and NC Vinyl at quarterback. Snap is back. Vinyl looking south, trying to throw an out route to Lawndorf, and it's just out of his reach, incomplete. Meanwhile, for the Miami Sharks defense, we have Cor and Verdes as defensive linemen. At linebacker, we have Steve Whitmer and Jack, and they're rolling with a 3-cornerback setup. They have Boogeyman playing safety, and Bacon and Bogey as the corners. And there's the snap. It's a handoff north. Abvolt looking for daylight, and he's tackled by Steve Whitmer after a gain of only 2. Bogey probably looking to make some more plays at cornerback this time. He led the league in interceptions during the regular season, but came up empty in the previous matchup. It's now 3rd and 18 for Do It Live. Abvolt motions to the tight end spot north. There is the snap. Vinyl looking north, now looking south. Throws it, and it's well out of the reach of everybody, incomplete. And without hesitation, the punting unit will come onto the field for Do It Live. NC Vinyl will punt it away. Bacon is along the north sideline waiting for the kick. Vinyl, however, is lined up south. We'll see if he changes that on the snap. He does not. He continues kicking it south, away from the returners, and nice kick. He pins Miami back at the 13-yard line. And the Miami Sharks offense takes the field. Currently, they have Verdes at center, and then Jack and Kula, who just left the field. There he is again as the tackles. Bogey and Bacon at wide receiver, Core at running back, and Steve Whitmer playing quarterback. And on first down, here is the snap. Steve looking north, trying to fire a quick slant to Bacon, and it's out of his reach, incomplete. On defense for Do It Live, we have Abvolt and Pooter at defensive line. They're going with a 3-linebacker set as they have Vega and Zanaz on the outside and Lawndorf over the middle. And the cornerbacks, Revolution and Big Eater. Now it's 2nd down and 20 as Steve Whitmer gets the play called. Snap is back. Whitmer looks north, hands it off to Core. Core being very patient with his blockers, but still only manages to get about 4 yards before Vega makes the tackle. This might end up being slow going for both offenses in this game. Now, given the 3 interception performance from last game, will Whitmer be a little more careful with the ball this time or throw caution to the wind? There's the snap. Whitmer looking south, tackled off of the edge rush by Zanaz. Pooter had the outside tackle distracted just long enough for Zanaz to sneak around the edge and tackle Whitmer, and that is going to force a punt for the Miami Sharks. And now Revolution is lined up along the north sideline. Steve Whitmer is looking in that direction. He has a very short run up to his kick. The kick is away, and it is to the 45-yard line. So basically, the last 2.5 minutes of football did not matter. We are right back where we started after the kickoff. An interesting tale of the tape between these two teams. Both of them started off with different quarterbacks in the preseason. Miami made a shift in the preseason, whereas Do It Live made a shift during the regular season. And they try to run it south, but Kula immediately stops that. He actually stopped that in the backfield. That is a loss of 2 by Abvolt. Now that'll bring up 2nd and 22 from the Miami 47-yard line. Here's the snap. Vinyl looking north, throws it south to Londorf, and it phases past everybody, incomplete. It was a little hard to tell if that was a fake north and then Londorf was the intended receiver the entire time, because Revolution got bumped off the line. But now that'll bring up 3rd and long for Do It Live. Abvolt motions south to the tight end spot. There's the snap. Vinyl looking over the middle, now rolling north, throws it to Abvolt. Abvolt has it, but he's tackled immediately by Steve Whitmer. He does pick up about 13 yards, which makes this a bit trickier of a... Nope, they're going to go for a field goal. The ball is currently sitting at the 35-yard line along the north hash, which means you're looking at roughly a maybe 45-yard field goal. Not a gimme by any stretch, but it being on the hash does help with the aim a little bit. There is the snap. Vinyl has the kick away, and it is... Oh, it's wide right! If his momentum carried him south a little bit more, that probably would have gone in, but it's just wide right of the post. So it's a net gain for Miami as the ball is now at the 35-yard line. And they take over 1st and 10. There is the snap. They fake the run north, sweep it south to Bacon. Bacon cannot get out of reach of Zanaz. Good stop by Zanaz, as that is only a gain of 2. As we approach 6:20 left in the first half, both teams still have all of their timeouts. The cornerbacks for the Do It Live defense playing off of the line. As now we're looking at 2nd and 18. Snap back. Whitmer looking south, looking for the quick out to Bogey, but it's out of his reach and incomplete. You have to wonder if the cornerbacks are doing that by design to maybe try and jump one of Whitmer's routes. Meanwhile, Vega is also playing very far off the line for a linebacker. Maybe doing a zone, maybe catching Core out of the backfield. We'll see. Now Vega creeps up to the line on 3rd down. Whitmer looking north, and he has Bacon on the cutback, gets the 1st down, and is tackled by Revolution. Nicely run route by Bacon, and that puts the ball at about the 43-yard line of Do It Live. So with under 5.5 to go in the first half, it is first down. Whitmer backpedaling, gives a delayed run south to Core, who accidentally gets in front of his blockers and is tackled early by Lawndorf. That's only a gain of about 3 yards. And on 2nd and 17, Big Eater with big time outside leverage on Bogey south. Here is the snap. Whitmer looking south, now moves it north. He is going to sneak it. He has blockers out in front. Nicely done by Whitmer, gets the first down, and is finally tackled by Big Eater. That's a very heads-up job by the offensive line of Miami, just picking out everybody who was coming in from downfield and blocking them out of the way so Whitmer could get extra yards. Now well within field goal range. It is technically first and goal at the 17-yard line. Snap is back. They do a quick slant north to Bacon. Bacon catches it and is tackled by Revolution at the 11-yard line. I would say this is more advantageous for them, but Whitmer has struggled with hitting the shorter routes as of late. Play clock winding down. Whitmer looking south. He's going to fade it, and oh, it just phased over Bogey. Bogey was moving south, and he did a little stop to try and catch the pass as it went by him, but there was just a little too much phase on it, incomplete. And now we're coming up on 3rd and goal from the 11. Here's the snap. Whitmer drops back, looking over the middle, now turns north. Tries to get it to Core, but it phased over him, and even if it didn't, he was double covered by the levies. It's incomplete. What do you do if you're Miami? Do you go for the field goal? Or do you try and go for 6? Your defense has played well, but I mean, do you take points wherever you can get them? We shall see. About 3.5 to go in the first period. There is the snap. Whitmer looking over the middle, and it's incomplete! He tried hitting Bogey on a post route, but Lawndorf was over the middle looking for it anyway. And so it is a turnover on downs in the shadow of the end zone. And so Do It Live takes over at their own 11-yard line. First down and 20. Lawndorf playing well off the line of scrimmage. There's the snap. It's a slant south to Lawndorf, but wow, that was a really steep angle for that pass. It's incomplete. Lawndorf was about 5 yards downfield, and that pass barely made it past the line of scrimmage. That will bring up 2nd down and 20. Bogey lining up with inside leverage on Lawndorf. Here's the snap. It's a run north to Abvolt. Outside linebacker misses. Whitmer does not. Nice recovery by Whitmer to make that stop. It is a 5-yard gain, so that'll bring up 3rd and 15 from the 15-yard line. Here is the snap. Abvolt moves south. Vinyl looking over the middle. Now rolling south. Still staying behind the line of scrimmage. Trying to find anything. Launches it north. Trying to find Abvolt, but it's a few yards out of his reach and incomplete. And so the punting unit will come back onto the field for Do It Live. They're along the north hash, but last time they were in that position and they punted, Vinyl punted south. We'll see if he tries doing that again. That may have been purely to try and pin them back. This time he might be going for more distance. He is well behind his blockers. Nope, he turns around and kicks it south. Bogey is there for the pickup. Avoids the first tackler, avoids the second. He's past the 50. He's to the 40. Looking for more blockers, but Londorf does well to chase him down, and he is tackled at the 36-yard line of Do It Live. So Miami will take over, and they will have a short field. And if they get to another fourth down, will they take the points this time? Here is the snap. Whitmer looking a couple ticks south, and oh my god, he finds Bogey on a post route, and it's a touchdown! The first touchdown of the series for Miami, and that gives them a 6-0 lead pending the extra point. It almost looked like a delayed post route where Bogey just jumped on the ball at the last minute and then strutted into the end zone. Snap is back, the kick is up, and Whitmer missed it. You know, I think I'm understanding why they didn't go for the field goal before, but it is still a 6-0 Miami lead. And Do It Live is ready for the kickoff. Verdes misses the ball entirely. Now comes back, and he is going to set up and kick it north. That is a nice directional kick. Revolution has to field it at his 3-yard line along the sideline, but he does have several blockers out there. He gets a bit loose. No, Bogey catches him at the last second. He is tackled at the 32-yard line. Revolution made the best of a bad situation there. He had to catch that because it was heading toward the end zone for a touchback. And now on first down, Abvolt motions into the tight end slot south. Here's the snap. Vinyl looking north. And that appeared to be a miscommunication between NC Vinyl and Revolution. Revo was running a slant mid, and Vinyl threw it north. And that will set up second down and 20. Londorf being given inside leverage by Bogey. Here's the snap. Vinyl rolling north. Still has Abvolt in the backfield with him. Throws it over the middle. Caught! Londorf has it. He is past the 30, and he is finally tackled by Bogey at the 26-yard line. The receivers for Do It Live were about 10 yards apart from each other and moving in opposite directions across the field. And Londorf, credit where it's due, he did an out route to the north and was in the right place at the right time to make the play. And it looks as though Bogey has called a timeout, so the clock stopped at 2:20. Meanwhile, here is a run south to Abvolt. They get past the linebackers and do pick up about 9 yards before Source finally takes him down. Source, by the way, now into the game for Miami instead of Boogeyman at the safety spot. And after that run, we are now at the 2-minute warning. Bogey appears to be trying to preserve as much clock as possible for a potential drive at the end of the half. And on 2nd and 11 from the 17-yard line, here's the snap. Vinyl looking over the middle. He's going to try and sneak it, and he's tackled immediately by Kula. I don't think the offensive line got the memo about that play. So now the clock is running. Now Bogey is not calling any timeouts. Source, rather than playing safety, is still lined up south. The ball is along the south hash. And they're trying to make sure Londorf does not get that ball. Snaps back. They look north. It's Revolution. And he's tackled as soon as he touches the ball. Nice breakup by Bacon. That is incomplete. It is 4th down and 10. 1:22 to go in the first half. And Do It Live is okay. They almost lined up to go for it, but they called a field goal. Only 10 seconds left on the play clock, though. So they're going to have to set this up real fast. 2 on the play clock. They get the snap off. Here is the kick. And the kick is good.
It's good.
Nearly right down the middle by NC Vinyl. So the deficit has been cut in half. Miami will get the ball back with 1:19 and 2 timeouts to work with. And the 30-second play clock says that Miami Sharks are ready. Abvolt will kick it away. And he kicks it just above the north hash, where Bacon will take it for Miami. He is across the 20, looking for blockers. To the 30, he is tackled just shy of the 30-yard line. It appears we have at least one prominent member of Master Andy's in spectator mode checking out this match. As now the snap's back, Whitmer with a delayed run north to Core, who is tackled in short order by Londorf. That only picked up 3 yards. Miami is not using any timeouts yet. They stack their wide receivers north on the short side of the field. Now Bogey will motion south. And we are at 50 seconds and counting left in the first half. Whitmer trying to get the play call in. Play clock is down to 6. There is the snap. Whitmer looking south, fires it for Bogey. Bogey catches it and then goes out of bounds. And that'll bring up 3rd and 8. Clock stops with 38 seconds left in the first half. Trying to see if they can, at minimum, get into field goal range. But we shall see. It'll be interesting to see if Do It Live tries to hang back in coverage or try to add extra pressure and go for a sack. Here is the snap. They are only rushing the defensive lineman. The pass intended for Core, but it phases over him, incomplete. And that is 4th down, and they are going to punt it away with 33 seconds to go. NC Vinyl had to leave and re-enter the arena. Not sure if that's a lag issue or what. You may need to take a trip to the blue tent during halftime. Whitmer lined up not very far in the backfield. He punts it, and just making absolutely sure there is no return, that goes out of bounds at the Do It Live 29-yard line. Do It Live does have all 3 timeouts left, and 30 seconds is a decent amount when you have all of your timeouts. Now, how does Do It Live approach this? Abvolt motions to the north tight end spot. Vinyl will drop back, looking north initially, now fades it south, and that is just out of the reach of Abvolt, incomplete. Miami is threatening to bring pressure. The defensive linemen are lined up wide at the edge of the box. Here's the snap. They try to rush middle. Vinyl avoids the pressure, throws it south, and again, just barely out of the reach of Revolution and incomplete. Miami appears to have swapped out a defensive lineman. They now have 3 corners and 3 linebackers on the field. Verdes is the only down lineman. They do rush some of the linebackers, and Verdes powers through the offensive line and sacks NC Vinyl. They go into punting mode, but the clock is still running. They can just let this run out. Is Miami going to call timeout? No, they're not. And so at the end of the first half, your score is Miami Sharks 6, Do It Live 3. Taking a look at the first half, it was a bit of a struggle for the quarterbacks, particularly at the beginning of the game. NC Vinyl currently sitting at 2 for 11 passing for 49 yards. Whitmer did recover late. He is currently sitting at 4 for 10, 92 yards, and a touchdown. It's a period break for the players and for me. And just a reminder of what is on the line. This is game 2. Do It Live already won the first game, 7-0. If they can win tonight, that's it. The series is over. They go to the Godzilla Bowl to face Master Andy Shipman Pissman. If Miami wins, we'll be back here Tuesday at... I can't remember what time it is, but we'll be back here Tuesday. Meanwhile, I was so focused on the game I had no idea what was going on in Blue Chat. I still have no idea what's going on in Blue Chat. And frankly, I don't want to know what's going on in Blue Chat. It's like looking at the general channel in the Hockey Zone Discord. You just don't do it. And with that, the period break is over, and Do It Live will kick it off to start the second half. And it looks like we are ready for the kickoff. Do It Live has 2 defensive linemen on the field for this. The big man Vega is kicking it off. He kicks it south. Bogey will take it at his own goal line. Bogey is moving it north, trying to weave through traffic. He gets tackled by Avvolt. Oh, getting tackled by the defensive line on the kickoff? That is not a good look. And so Miami will take it over at their own 23-yard line. Here is the snap. When we're looking south, quick out to Bogey. Bogey dodges the tackle. Oh, Zanaz with a nice tackle from behind. If he didn't get that, Bogey would have gotten a lot more yards. As it stands, though, he did pick up 14, so that'll bring up 2nd and 6. Ball is now on the south hash. Revolution playing pretty much straight up on Bacon on the strong side of the field. Snap, Whitmer looking south again. It's a delayed run to Core, and he gets 1 yard before Zanaz tackles him. For those wide runs, there's been a bit of a struggle for the Miami Sharks offensive line to actually get out and get those outside linebackers. That will bring up 3rd and 5. Ball is currently at the 38-yard line. Here's the snap. Whitmer rolling north, looking for Bogey, maybe Core. Tries to get it to Bogey. It's just out of his reach and incomplete. Now, what do you do if you're Miami here? The ball is closer to midfield, and it is a short distance. But do you want to risk giving Do It Live a short field? They do not. They bring the punting unit onto the field. And Whitmer lining up a bit further back than he was before. Oh, that was close. Bogey almost interrupted the snap. The punt is away, and Big Eater fields it, and he avoids the first tackle, and he's gathering blockers. The kicker misses him. Big Eater now to the 30. He's very slowly making his way to the 40. Moving along the north sideline, he's got his defensive lineman blocking for him now to the 40. He's to the 30. They are not going to catch him. 20, 10, and touchdown. Do It Live. A couple members of Miami asking if they hit Big E, possibly looking for a tank. I cannot speak for what the refs saw, but it did not look like a tank on my end. And the extra point is there, and the kick is up, and NC Vinyl's kick is good. That has been a running theme with the RSFL this year, which is never let your punts land in bounds. And so it is now a 10-6 lead for Do It Live with 8:17 to play. The Sharks are ready for the kickoff. Abvolt will kick it off this time. As he looks north, fires it north, and that will be taken by Bacon at about his 3-yard line. Pushing toward the north sideline, trying to be patient with his blocks, and somehow Revolution sorted through that pile of bodies and tackled Bacon at the 30-yard line. Let's see, we have 1st and 20 for the Miami Sharks. Here is the snap. Whitmer looks south, now fires it north. Had Bacon just behind the linebacker, but it phased over everybody and it's incomplete. Big Eater giving a ton of outside leverage to Bogey at the wide receiver south position, while Revolution is pretty much playing Bacon straight up. Here is the snap. Whitmer looking a couple ticks south, trying to throw it to Bogey. It is behind him and thankfully phases over the defenders, incomplete. That will bring up 3rd down and 20. Big Eater giving a ton of space to Bogey, and so much outside leverage, Bogey could just run in a straight line and catch it. Although he may be getting help from Londorf. Whitmer. Oh, they rushed both the linebackers, and Whitmer gets sacked by Zanaz. The defensive lineman took up all the attention of the offensive line, and both of the outside linebackers rushed wide and took down Whitmer. So now with 7:37 to go and counting, Miami will have to punt it away. Whitmer looking north, fires it north, and that will go harmlessly out of bounds at about the 42-yard line of Do It Live. And as they take over, Miami is going to stick with the single defensive line set, and Do It Live will run it to Avvolt south. He waits for his blockers, pushes forward, and is tackled by Kula after a gain of about 15 yards. I don't know if they were actually trying to go for a single defensive line set, or if they were just trying to sub Verez on late and they couldn't get him on the field. But either way, Do It Live took advantage of it, and they now have 2nd and 5. Snap is there. Avvolt running it up the middle, tackled by Kula after a pickup of about 2. That'll put the ball at Miami's 41-yard line on the south hash and set up 3rd and 3 with under 7 minutes to play. Londorf doing a lot of motion in the backfield, trying to throw off the secondary of Miami. He's now going to stay up north. He's going outside of where Revolution is lined up. Here's the snap. Vinyl. Oh, he was looking south for Avvolt, but Core speed rushed them and sacked him. Now a critical 4th and 5, and a timeout is called by Miami. Now what do you do here? Do you go for it and risk turning it over? Because your defense has been playing very well this half. Well, Miami just got a person on the field. Oh, nice catch by Londorf. NT Vinyl rolled south, found Londorf on an out going toward the sideline. Londorf steps out of bounds, and that is a 1st down for Do It Live. Clock stops with 6:10 to play. They're at the Miami 31-yard line. Even a field goal here would be massive. Londorf trying to motion like he's going to go north, but he stays south. Here's the snap. They run it to Avvolt. Avvolt has no outside linebacker to worry about, but he does get tackled by Bogey after a pickup of about 4 yards. As we are now under 6 minutes to play, clock is running. And you got to imagine Do It Live is going to bleed that play clock for all it's worth. Here is the snap. Final will hand it off north to Avvolt. Kula didn't have the energy to tackle him, but Whitmer does. And that is a pickup of about 5. So it'll be 3rd and 11 for Do It Live. They're at the 23-yard line of Miami. Not quite to the north hash with the ball placement. Miami appears to be trying to hold on to those timeouts. Play clock is down to 4, 3, 2. There's the snap. Vinyl will run it south to Avvolt. Avvolt got out in front of his blockers a bit and is tackled by Whitmer. after a gain of about 3. So the ball is now at the 20-yard line, right on the south hash, and the field goal unit will come onto the field for Do It Live. Vinyl did miss a kick from the north hash, but that was significantly further away. This one's going to be about 15 yards closer. Here's the snap. Vinyl's kick is up, and it is through the uprights. So that will make it a 13-6 advantage for Do It Live with 4:18 left to play. And it looks as though Avolt will handle the kicking duties once again for Do It Live. Auto ready is in effect. Avolt steps into it and boots it south, just south of the south hash, and Bogey will take it at his own 2. Bogey taken down from behind by Zanaz. He thought he had a shield from his teammate, but Zanaz was just far enough to the side of it to make that tackle. So it is virtually a touchback. Miami will take over a few inches shy of their own 20-yard line. Here is the snap. Whitmer looking north on a slant to Bacon, and somehow it phased through him. It's not often you see a 1.5 phase slant, but there you are. As that will set up 2nd down and 20 for Miami. You gotta imagine they'll be going to the air constantly on this drive. Here's the snap. Whitmer looking south, now looking north. He's going to sneak it. And he is tackled by Zanaz after a gain of about 7. Clock is running. We are at 4 minutes left to play. Whitmer trying to get the play call in as quickly as he can. Londorf playing him straight on as the linebacker safety. Now shades south a bit toward Bogey. Whitmer looking north to the slant to Bacon. Bacon has it, and he is out of bounds, 2 yards shy of the first down. And this could be for everything here. 4th and 2 for Miami from their own 37-yard line. And it's a long 2. We'll call it 2.5. Do you go ground game? Do you go to the air? Whitmer, quick slant to Bacon. Bacon has it. And he's out of bounds, and that is a 1st down for Miami. So now Miami has a 1st down at their own 46.5-yard line. Big Eater is now playing Bogey straight up, no longer going for outside leverage this time. Maybe a little outside leverage. Londorf is shading south toward Bogey. Whitmer fakes the slant south, and oh, he is tackled in the backfield by Pooter. Pooter using the bull rush on the offensive line, and he picks up a sack. So the clock is running. We are under 3:15 to play. 2nd and 23 now for Miami. Here's the snap. Whitmer looking north. He's going to fade it. And, oh, it phased past Bacon and went to Revolution, who couldn't quite hold on to the interception. That will stop the clock with 3 minutes left to play, and Miami facing 3rd and long. Vega is playing off the line. Londorf was shading south. Now he's playing straight up in the middle of the field. There's a snap. They only rush 2. And that is all they need to rush. Pooter goes around the edge and sacks Whitmer. That is a loss of 4. The clock is still running. It is 4th and 27. How much does Miami have in the playbook for this down and distance? Core will motion out of the backfield to a pseudo tight end position. And they finally call a timeout with 2:25 left to play. It's a bit of a mystery why they didn't call timeouts sooner, but better late than never, I suppose. And they're punting. Bold strategy, Cotton. We'll see how that works. Whitmer again lining up very close and has a steep angle toward the south side of the field. The kick is away, and it'll go out of bounds at about the 34-yard line. You gotta wonder what the analytics say about that. I mean, my natural inclination would have been go for it, because regardless of what happens, the clock will stop. And then hopefully, oh wait, there is a run north to Avolt. Avolt gets past all the linebackers, and Bacon finally tackles him after a pickup of 11. Now, do they call timeout ahead of the 2-minute warning? Miami only has the 1 timeout left. And they do not. By the way, for anyone who is listening on Discord and does not see what's actually happening in the game, yes, Thrill is still talking. All right, time in has been called. Do It Live facing a 2nd and 9 at their own 44-yard line. They get a first down, this game is practically over. Wandorf motions north, they run it north to Avolt. Avolt has the first down and then some. He is to the 40, he is to the 30, he is to the 20, and finally taken down by Jack. And for all intents and purposes, this game is over. Clock is running, and oh, they caught Bacon off sides, so that will move the ball to the 10-yard line. We are now under 1:30 left to play, and this is just a formality at this point. And it appears that some Miami players left the field, and Avolt just runs into the end zone for a touchdown. And a poor show of sportsmanship by a couple members of Miami. Either that or it was a badly botched substitution. It's up in the air as to what in the hell that was. Speaking of what in the hell that was, it looked like the ball got phased and then Revolution somehow took it away from the holder and got tackled in the backfield on the extra point. All right, Miami does have 6 people on the field as Avolt tries to kick it off north, but holds on to the ball for too long. 5 seconds left on the play clock to get this kickoff. He has it, and he boots it north. And Core misses the ball, finally picks it up at his 1-yard line. And he's trying to move south away from one of the linebacker ships. And he is mercifully tackled at the 17-yard line. Well, there is 1 minute, 7 seconds left to play. Do It Live has a 13-point lead over Miami. And Miami is down one receiver. Bacon is no longer in the game. Here is the snap. Whitmer looking over the middle and fires it over the middle, and absolutely no one is there. It's knocked down by Vega, incomplete. Bacon is currently in spectator mode. Don't know whether he is willfully sitting out or if he's having lag issues or what's going on. Now both Bogey and Core lined up north. Core will now motion to the south. Here's the snap. Whitmer is sacked by Abvolt. And so the clock runs. We are under 50 seconds left to play. And everything is broken. The scoreboard thinks it's 4th and 61. They snap the ball anyway. Whitmer, backpedaling, just throws it off his back foot. It is picked off by NC Vinyl. Vinyl laterals it to Londworth. Londworth moving north to avoid the offensive line. Avoids another lineman, and he gets into the end zone for a touchdown. This got out of hand in a hurry. And the module does not care. It is still saying 4th and 61. There are now only 4 players on the field for Miami. Avolt places the extra point too early and falls on the ball. And the extra point is no good. Oh, fucking hell. Well, contrary to what some people have suggested, this game will be over in time for RSHL to start around when it usually does. Kula, in an offensive line ship, is now trying to disrupt the kickoff, and he is pulled from the game. Vega boots it toward the north hash. Bogey will take it at his own goal line. He moves south to avoid the linebacker and manages to get around the corner and the linebacker, going down the sideline past the 50 to the 40 and out of bounds. And now Core is not in the game for Miami either. Bogey is the only receiving option on the field for Miami. So Do It Live is just putting both of their corners on him. Kula takes off down the field for some reason. And the game is over. Well, that became a complete mess in the last few minutes of the game. But the point is, Do It Live is victorious. They win the series 2-0, and they will advance to the Godzilla Bowl to take on Master Andy Shipman Disman. That is going to do it for me on commentary. Thanks for hanging out. And if you're watching on Twitch, do stick around. We do have an RSHL match coming up after this, but I gotta get going. Later.